Welcome to today's webinar on reviewing insurance needs during this COVID-19 crisis. I'm Regina DeMeo. I'm a family law attorney in Maryland and DC for over 20 years. And with me today is Ellen Davis. Ellen, thank you so much for being here.
Regina, thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to have this conversation with you, even under these circumstances.
So, Ellen, I have to ask, first of all, how long have you been in doing the insurance business in Montgomery County?
Dates me, 35 years.
Wow.
35 years, well, not in Montgomery County. I've been here 25 years, started in New York 10 years before that. So a little bit of time. But I was very young when I started. It was about 1 or 2.
So who would you say your typical clients are? Are they new parents? Are they business owners?
You know, that's a great question. People always talk about what does your best client look like? And I can't say that there is one. You're right. New parents, newlyweds, people whose children are about to go off to college, or as they watch their parents age, or parents who then have adult children coming back into the home, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, depending on the type of insurance that we're talking about. Anybody who has a question about insurance, either their employee benefits or do they have coverage, what type of coverage. That's actually one of the best clients for me, only because I really do love the education part of this and helping people understand what insurance is and truthfully why I think it's the best thing since sliced bread. So
can you describe your process with people?
Yes, actually, every person, as you know, is, I would say, is like a fingerprint, very individualized. So what you and I might want or need the same, and I'll use life insurance as the example, we may be looking at the same face amount, the same term, but our reasons for having it are completely different. So the process that I normally do is I speak to my clients clearly, ask a tremendous amount of questions to learn more about their needs, their wants, especially their budgets, because a lot of people come up with, if you go online, you'll find what are called rules of thumb. You know, how do you determine, and again, I'm going to use life insurance as the example for the moment. How do you determine how much life insurance do you need? And you'll find 7 times your salary, 10 times your salary, cover the mortgage, do this, do that. And that's all well and good, but it has no meaning if it doesn't mean something to you. So we take a look at all of those things. How long do you want to cover your income? How many years do you want to make sure that the mortgage is paid for? Because you're never going to just pay off a mortgage. That's not the best idea. How much money do you need to put into a 529? Or if you need to hire out additional help for the kids because one parent has passed away and now all of those things that the parent has been doing now needs to be, well, hired out, you know, getting the kids to here, to there, shopping, cooking, cleaning, who knows? So those rules of thumb mean nothing until we discuss, and I always talk about the big pie in the sky. If you could have it all, what would it look like? And when I get those numbers back and I say, okay, well, you can have pie in the sky, but this is what it's going to cost. And of course, it's not within somebody's budget because everybody wants everything. They want the biggest number, they want to leave legacies and they want to do, and that's all well and good. And I do have clients that want that. But in most cases, people are working, especially now with the uncertainty, they're working within budgetary needs. So we need to meet those to the best of our ability. So we take a piece of the pie, or maybe 2 pieces, or maybe just a bite of a piece for the moment, so that we make sure that they're getting something because putting something in place is better than not putting anything in place. Even if it's tiny, doesn't matter. So that's one of, so I hold hands. So we talk a lot, ask a lot of questions through the whole process. And then every year we do a review. Some clients I do reviews twice a year, depends on what they need or want. Make sure we're still on the same plan, work with their estate planners, financial planners, accountants. It's a team effort. Life is a team sport. So putting a life plan in place is a team effort.
And in light of COVID-19, are you seeing a huge increase in life and disability insurance?
Actually, yes. So and I keep saying because I'm trying to separate all of the pieces. Right now, there is, I'm going to jump back to health for a moment. There is a special election period right now where people who did not have insurance, individual insurance, or businesses, small businesses, they can now get insurance right now. Originally, it was supposed to end yesterday. It was just extended into June. So that's been a huge increase because normally open enrollment is in November and December of every year for an individual, where a company can come in and out at any point during the year if it's a brand new group. So we're seeing an uptick in that as well because of the fear that has been created, of course. With life insurance, because of the changes in underwriting that we're experiencing right now, we are doing what's called accelerated underwriting, where depending on the health of the client, the age, and the dollar amount of the life insurance policy, they will go start to finish. I've had several clients kind of application to policy 3 days and 5 days, unheard of, without an actual paramed, meaning somebody who comes, draws blood, takes your blood pressure, because they're within those guidelines. So we're able to do that, not for everyone. I mean, some are still taking 2 weeks to a month, kind of standard fare, depending on what they need. As for disability, well, that's been a big one. Most people shy away from disability. It tends to be a more expensive type of insurance, depending on the type of job that you do. So for doctors, a lot of times when they're working in a practice or in a hospital, part of their employee benefits has a set amount of disability, but their income will allow for additional. And right now, doctors, attorneys, accountants, and actually supermarket workers, which has not been the norm. The uptick is amazing, and now we're able to also underwrite larger amounts based on income. Again, it's income related, without the extensive medical reviews. And then long-term care is the next one. Now, I'm a big proponent for long-term care. Put me on a soapbox and I'll talk your ear off. But now people are thinking more in those lines because it's that long-term. So we're hearing these great stories of people who unfortunately were positive for COVID and have recovered. Yet some of the recovery has long-term negative health for them. So once it's in your lungs, even if you recover, there's a great possibility for long-term health issues because of that. So all of those pieces, we are seeing an uptick. In addition, fixed indexed annuities, just to protect some of the income because of the market fluctuations, so that they are protecting on the downside, because some clients jumped in before the market dropped, and now people are just placing some funds to the side, either retirement or other to make sure that they don't lose another cent, and it's there for them. So yeah, in all of those pieces, it's an uptick for all of that business, but more I'm talking to my clients, just reassuring them, reviewing everything with them. So yeah.
And are you seeing an increase in the cost with any of these policies?
Actually, right now, no. What we are seeing, and which is very interesting. So some of the, again, I'll jump back to life insurance because that's the easiest one to talk about. I do have some carriers that are either no longer writing business or have stopped writing 30-year term business. But a lot of companies are writing 30-year terms, several, up to $1 million with no medical exams, kind of that accelerated. And the rates have been the same as they were in January or December or November last year. I will tell you, can't tell you when, can't tell you how, but there will come a time that those rates will go up and underwriting will become extremely strict. Right now, they're trying to help people get the coverage that they need in the hopes that they won't need it. It's kind of insurance if you need it, assurance if you don't. So the insurance companies are really trying to help the greater population to protect themselves, which is not usually what they do. They're usually trying to make money for their investors. And this time around, we're seeing something a little bit different. They really care about people. So it's really amazing. But it will come where underwriting and costs will go up and will be much more stringent later on.
So what final tips would you have to share with people if they're wondering what they need to look for in terms of making sure their bases are covered?
Well, yeah, I say to all of my clients, if you haven't spoken to your insurance broker in a year, or if you don't remember who that person was, or you don't have their phone number, I'm happy to review your policy. Most people don't realize they haven't changed their address, even though they've moved. They haven't updated their beneficiaries. More importantly, I also tell clients, if you have not done your wills, your healthcare proxies, your HIPAA documents, that's as important in reviewing as reviewing your insurance. So taking a look at the whole picture is very important. So also in your line with divorces, we see a lot of the need for life insurance in a divorce case, as you know, and also in a prenuptial. So when you do prenuptials, a lot of times there may not be that initial need, but there's a request. And so when we do the request, we then adjust how we write that policy, something like a cross ownership. So we take a look at the whole picture. So look at your documents, call your attorneys, call your accountants, call your financial planners, just ask the questions. And if you don't remember who they are, I'm happy to review it, no cost. It's just to put everybody's mind at ease. So.
Wow, that's been great. So Ellen, if people want to contact you, what's the best way to reach you?
Let's see, my phone number, which is 301-728-5505. My email is edavis@lifehealthhome.com, or of course the website, which is www.lifehealthhome.com. You can find me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, LinkedIn. Ask away, ask questions.
Great. Thanks so much, Ellen.
Regina, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely.
Stay safe. Go wash your hands.
Thanks.